Hi there. This is going to be an extremely rough video about what I'm looking at right now for double downs. So, in summary, what I believe is the correct motion, for me at least, for double downs is to think of it as my pick hand moving to the next string, and while it's moving, the wrist then does what it has to in order to pick the string that I'm just leaving. So, for example, in slow motion, moving, catching it, and then doing the next string. So, I used to think that double downs were done like this. The full downstroke and then upstroke. And then for the double down, you do a less effort and then you move to the other string. Less effort, move to the other string. So the problem with that is that the double down then is still going down into the guitar. And so what that means is that in order to move to the next lower string, my hand needs to be lifted up and out and over. And that is an extremely tiring motion. It's doable at slow speeds, but when you get to higher speeds, it's just not, for me, it just wasn't possible. So I was looking at Christian's slowed down technique video, and I realized that if I think of it, instead of thinking of it as the downstroke being altered in order to facilitate the movement to the other string, rather what's happening is that the movement to the other string is happening and then the downstroke is added on top of that. So rather than think of it as stroke and then move, stroke and then move, instead think of it as move and then stroke. Moving, stroke. So, the drills that I'm using to work on this are as follows. So I'll show an example. I play a series of notes on the D string, and then I pluck that and then continue on the D string. So, D, 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 G, D, D, D. You can also obviously change that around. So go pick the note on the G and then go to D. Okay? So rather than think of the rest stroke as on the string that you're leaving, think of it as being part of the string that you're moving to. So that's drill number one. Drill number two is to work on the motion in between the two strings. So for example, if I had this, when I'm doing the rest stroke, the half rest stroke, I'm thinking of the motion, the arm moving is what I'm thinking of. So rather than play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, instead, the other drill that I do is go 1, 2, think of moving, 1, 2, 3. I go 1, 2, ba, 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 ba. Notice when I'm playing the upstroke kickstarts the motion to the next string below it. Okay? So I'm not doing down, up, and then wait, and then move, and then downstroke. It's down, up, and the motion to the next string happens as part of the upstroke. So it's a lot smoother. Once again, I play two notes on the G string and then a triplet on the D string. And I'm playing it in time. 1, 2, move, 1, da, ba, 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 move, ba, 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 ba. having already done and then it's a matter of going okay. So that's for those downstrokes when moving to the other string. There are, if you watch Joscho, he plays some double downs sometimes like this, where he continues going down into the guitar. So he'll go like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's a much harder motion to do, but you can practice that as well. And the way that I started to work on that was just to do regular alternate picking. And then I would try to keep that rhythm going, but switch over to the other downstroke. So alternate picking, just to get a feeling of the rhythm and loosen up. That is a lot more involved. There's a lot of wrist motion that goes on with that. But it's still doable, and I think that that might still be worth working on just because it really wakes up the wrist. So, yeah, so those are the two main drills that I do, and that's this one where I go. And I'm going before I actually combine them to go. I always keep an eye out on the tension of my elbow, or sorry, of my shoulder, because I find sometimes that my arm tries to get active to help with that double down motion, but it doesn't need to be. So periodically I'll make sure that everything's really loose, and sometimes I'll just sit here and go like on one string, just so I remember how loose that feels and how easy that feels. Sometimes too, it's good just to work on just doing shift from string to string just on upstroke. So like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because that just reminds you of how loose things need to be. Okay? Hope that helps. Sorry, this was longer than I expected. I'll try and cut it down in post. Thanks.